Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are Jeff and Tony Brabeck, the founders of Our Little Sparrows.
In this episode, we will discuss some of the challenges in communication many couples face. We will share from our own story the challenges we experienced in our relationship. Plus, we will cover other suggestions on how to best communicate with each other in a way that you feel heard and respected.
Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get alerts for when we post new content weekly. Stick around. We're going to start right now.
Everyone's story is unique and individual. We will share what we did, what worked for us, and what didn't work. You will identify with some of what we're sharing, but again, your experience is unique to you alone, and that's okay. This is not a platform for political, ethical, or moral debate. We are not medical experts, nor are we professionals. This is simply us sharing our personal story in hopes that it will encourage you and others going through a similar pregnancy by offering guidance with tips and tools to consider. Welcome back, you guys. Let's get started. First, we're going to start with understanding our unique differences. That's something that I think we all share. Your experience is unique to you and you alone. We emphasize this in every episode because we each have our own individual journey. Now, we bring with us our past experiences, good, bad, or otherwise, as well as beliefs and our own personalities. Now, those alone will shape how we perceive, analyze, and interpret events that happen in our lives. So, all the above, in one way or another, will influence you in how you respond to your current circumstances. Now, there are male and female differences that naturally factor into how we deal with our own emotions and how we communicate with each other. Sometimes you will feel the same way as your partner about your shared experience or circumstances, and in other times you will feel differently, and that is normal. It's how we respond to those differences that matters most.
So, one thing that worked for me is that when I was having a hard day, I would kind of give Jeff a phrase or maybe a code word, but it was more of a phrase for me. And I would say, I'm having a hard day. And without having to explain what that meant, Jeff, or at least I believe Jeff understood that
I did.
he did, um, that he knew that I was having a hard day because of what we were facing with our pregnancy and our daughter.
Mhm.
And so having a code word or a specific phrase that you use that you know that the other person understands that in this moment or this day is a difficult moment. And so you can even talk about maybe what the expectations are of the other person when you are having a bad day. Like maybe you just want a hug, or you just need maybe a few minutes. So maybe the other person can help maybe with dinner or cleaning up the dishes so that you can go and have a few minutes to yourself. Whatever that may be for you, um, maybe discuss that with your partner and see if that is something that you could use. So that you don't necessarily have to explain what's going on, but you just need to convey that you're having a difficult moment. If you're not quite sure how to respond, maybe something to ask is, how can I help? It's kind of a vague question, and sometimes we don't always know what we need, but it does acknowledge that you are open and willing to do what is needed to help the other person. And then always, sometimes it's hard to remember, but to say thank you, even for the little things that someone does, like even Jeff um, taking over doing the dishes so that I can go take a shower, things like that. Just things that the other person is being mindful of so that they're creating a space for you to do what you need to do to
It's
either
usually
process.
it's usually something we take granted for
Yeah.
granted. Yeah.
I think it's just important to have a mindset of thankfulness because we're both trying. We're
Mhm.
both trying to be there for the other person and also just try to get through the day too. So
It's exhausting what you're
yeah,
going through.
so I think taking moments to appreciate the other person, whether it's big or small gestures, will go a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, I didn't think of a lot of things initially, but if you started something, I'm like, oh, I can finish it,
Hmm.
right? So the dishes are perfect. You started it, now they're done. It's like, okay, I can empty it.
Mhm.
You started the laundry, but I can take it out and put it in the dryer,
Mhm.
and then I can make the bed or something like that. So, I mean, a lot of things you're as much as you purpose and want to think of these things ahead of time, they're more in the moment than
Mhm.
you realize, I think.
Mm.
And nothing's perfect. So
Right.
in the moment's better than not at all.
And sometimes we just need additional support. It's okay if you feel you need to see a counselor or a therapist. We both have each seen our own therapist throughout our journey. There's nothing wrong with you. And we actually feel and encourage finding additional support that is beyond your own family and friend circle. And we feel that it's really important and beneficial to your own healing journey and your journey as a couple. Communicating with your partner is something that we have to work hard for. Our Little Sparrows journal is a great resource. It is a free download, and we'll put the link in the show notes below. We created this journal in hopes that it will help you identify what you are feeling. The questions in the journal are suggestions to help you explore your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. We will be adding pages to this journal as we move through this grief series. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to get alerts when new journal pages become available. Supporting each other through this means that we need to have a willingness to keep those lines of communication open.
Mhm.
Letting go of expectations, focusing on being present, and holding space for each other is important. We don't always have to have the answer or know the right words to say. We just need to have an open heart and a willingness to be present in those moments together.
We hope these suggestions help you to navigate your own way through communicating with others so that you feel supported and respected. Most of all, we want you to know you are not alone. You are loved. Your baby will always be cherished. Our Little Sparrows is here to support you in any way that we can. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell, you guys, to get alerts for when we post new content weekly. If you liked what you saw in this video, you can click on the next video in our grief series here. If you want to watch our weekly video podcast, click here. And thank you for visiting Our Little Sparrows.